Jay Hiff, Stretford, Paddock, Manchester United 2, Brighton 1. This is the live review. Joining me, as always, is Joe Smith. Joe, not exactly an easy day at the office, but 3 points in the end, and as the thumbnail says, top 4 now. Do you feel like it is secured?
It looks pretty secure to me. If I just get the full table up on my phone, we'll get it on the screen when it's available. There you go. United now, 11 points clear of Tottenham, 11 points clear of Liverpool. Both teams obviously fighting for that top 4 spot. 9 points also clear of Chelsea. And for the first time in a long time, we're more than one bad week away from Leicester, which is good as well, because it had always been 1 point for a long time.
Yeah.
And now United have got a bit of breathing room from Leicester, who obviously lost to Man City. To me, that's top 4 done. I can't imagine a world where in the next 8 games we drop... not only do we drop 4 points to Leicester, or 5 points to Leicester, not only do we drop 9 points to Chelsea, we also drop 11 points to Tottenham and Liverpool, or one of the two. I don't think that happens. For me, that's top 4 safe now.
Do get involved in the chat, get involved in the comments, give us a like as well, hit that like button, let us know what you think. Do you think top 4 is secured? What do you think of the game? Who's your man of the match? Safe to say United didn't get off to a great start. I mean, for the first hour almost, we were pretty abysmal. I don't know, it's sort of followed the pattern of a lot of games recently. Yeah.
I think I need to sort of go back and trace where it started kind of going wrong a little bit, where we started this form of, if we don't get a clean sheet, we really struggle.
Yeah.
Like, there's not been many sort of 3-1s, 4-1s. It's been a lot of 1-0s, 0-0s, bits here and there, where, like I said, if we concede 1, we don't look like winning until toward the end of the game. And it was the same thing today. We conceded first. We didn't keep that clean sheet, obviously, and from there on out, we struggled to score. And I think at halftime, you can see the stats there. At halftime, it was something like 3 shots none on target for United. And I believe, based on those stats, I don't think Brighton had a shot in the second half. So second half was much better. 7 shots on target in the second half. That would be 12 shots in total. That's a good return for a half, and worthy of getting a couple of goals. And I thought we were much better second half, and we really needed to be. And we've got a super chat there from Michael Edgar. Thank you very much for that, Michael. He said, "Happy Easter Sunday, chaps." Sponsored by M&M.
Thanks for that, Michael.
I don't know if it means M&M the candy.
Your support of the channel, much appreciated. Yeah, do get involved. Let us know what you think. Obviously, they got the goal first. Yeah. Danny Welbeck, who some members of this channel really love and hold a special place in our heart for. But that aside, it was pretty dreadful defending. Me and McCullough were on the watch along. There was a bit of a debate going on about whether it was Aaron Wan-Bissaka, whether it was Vince Lindelof. Paul Pogba gave the ball away. I mean, it seems to be a little bit of a comedy of errors again with United. We're conceding goals. Whenever we do concede a goal, more often than not, you're not going, "Oh, that was an amazing strike. That was fantastic attacking play. There's not much we could have done about it."
No.
It always seems like there's at least 3 players you can point the finger at.
Yeah,
which is a worry.
Well, it is a worry. I don't know if in my head, I don't know if it's more of a worry that we've got 3 or 4 half mistakes in a row, or whether one big mistake from a player would. Do you know what I mean? It's like Lindelof maybe could have done better. Paul Pogba definitely could have. Wan-Bissaka definitely could have. Henderson, I think it's a bit unfair to drag him into that. It was actually a brilliant save on the line that just happened to go back up to Danny Welbeck. But yeah, I'm not sure whether you'd prefer it if it was like everyone did the right thing except one person, but it was a catastrophic error, or if it's better that 2 or 3 people have kind of half mistakes. I don't really know what's better, what's worse. But yeah, it does seem to be the case that that's how the sorts of goals we concede are 1, 2, 3 things that lead to a goal. I think, I don't know. I think second half we did make up for it. I think we did deserve to win that game. And if you were watching that from the perspective of anyone other than a Man United fan, you would say, really, United had more chances, more shots. Even in the first half, Mason Greenwood hits the post. That could so easily have gone in. Even in a half where, technically we didn't have any shots on target, Mason Greenwood hit the post. It wasn't like we didn't do anything. And then second half, I think, in terms of chances, we were largely dominant. I think we deserved the win. It was shaky. It was nervy, especially as a fan who's, we saw the Leicester game a couple of weeks ago where we didn't overcome a poor start and we did end up getting sort of beaten quite handily. But really, I don't think it was, all things considered, the worst of performances, even though the first half was really bad. I just think it felt worse than it was, if you know what I mean.
No, I get where you're coming from. one player who's got a knack of doing what he did tonight this season for our equaliser is Marcus Rashford, who even when he's not playing well, I don't think he had a particularly good game today, Marcus Rashford.
No.
He'll get a goal or he'll get an assist. He seems to sort of be very productive regardless of the level of his performance, which is is a decent trait to have because, he's
not bad, is it?
No, he's on the pitch to get goals and he does that regardless of whether he's not really having his best of games. We didn't really see much cohesion between him, Cavani, Bruno, apart from that goal, other than that goal where they all linked up well. It was one to the other. I think it was Cavani to Bruno, perfectly timed pass to Marcus Rashford, who finished it very well. We didn't see that very often, did we, in that game? And that was probably the only time where we saw all three of them linking up properly.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go through those players, I think Cavani had a stinker tonight.
I think there's a few people in the chat saying something similar.
Yeah, he was really poor. First 20 minutes, me, you, and then Adam on the watch along as well, we saw straight away a bad touch here, a bad pass there, a control that sort of takes it away from him. He almost couldn't do anything right for the first 15 minutes and never really got it back, never really did a whole hell of a lot. But that pass through, with both goals, there was a pass that sparked both of the goals. The first one was the Cavani pass through the line to Bruno. And that was basically the first time and probably the only time in the whole game where Bruno has got a one-on-one with a centre-back in front of him and then a supporting man in Marcus Rashford next to him. And he finds the pass, it looked like an easy pass, 10 yards, but to get that weight so perfect that the defender commits himself but can't reach it and basically allows Rashford a free shot across the goalkeeper. Very good from Bruno. But it was the Cavani pass that, for me, took that from just being a possession for United to being a dangerous chance. The second goal, Luke Shaw, who I would say was probably man of the match today alongside Harry Maguire, a similar thing. He just plays this pass with the outside of his foot, no real curl on it, but just it sort of slowly feathers its way down the pitch. Really, I think it was Marcus Rashford it found, or maybe Bruno again who he found with it. But he just cut through the lines with a single pass, and that was what changed the complexion of the attack from being what we had, which was slow, stagnated, allowing them to sit back and then just chuck a deep cross in. It changed it from that to being actually we're on the front foot here. We can make a chance now rather than having to hope, we chuck a ball to the back post and someone wins it. So two real key passes, and like I said, one of them from Cavani, who I thought was poor largely, but he did make a difference with that first goal.
You can see in there the comment from Mason Greenwood. It was a hard night when they scored the first goal. We knew we had to react and put in a better performance. Everyone was excellent in the second half. Good to see Mason Greenwood getting his goal, like you were saying there earlier. His performances have been steadily improving towards the last sort of couple of months or so. We know he didn't have the greatest start to the season. There was a lot going on off the pitch as well, which probably didn't help. He hasn't been prolific this season like he was last season, but he's certainly been getting involved in a lot of the good stuff for Manchester United, and today he was well worth his goal.
Yeah, it was, and we mentioned it again in the watch along. And I think sometimes he's the one that, because of his his sort of stature within the squad, in terms of he's only been in the first team for 18 months or so consistently. He's not a big money signing, so there's not the same pressure there. He's not on the same wages as some of the other players. So I think sometimes he is used as I'll sub him off because it's kind of the easiest political move to do, even if sometimes it's not deserved. Or sometimes not deserved for purely footballing reasons, because I do think there is something to be said for sometimes making a substitution that is right for multiple factors as well as just what's going on the pitch. Like sometimes it's for players' confidence or for, whatever. But in terms of how he's playing, I think he has improved a lot as the season's gone on. And he got the goal against Leicester. He got the goal again today, and obviously the crucial goal, the winner. Good positioning. Donny did well as well, dragging a man away. It's a nice header. It almost gets blocked on the line, but his positioning was excellent. Good poacher's goal, really, because he stood, on the 6-yard line, basically, heading the ball in from a cross, which is something we haven't seen from United strikers much in the last, decade, if we're honest. I guess Zlatan did a bit of that, but having someone stood on the 6-yard line, nodding a ball in to win us the game, we don't get too much of that. So really good play from him, and like you said, his performances have improved a lot as well over the last sort of 2 or 3 months, as well as the fact that he is starting to get a steady trickle of goals now as well to finish the season off. And we were talking about Anthony Martial, or we have been all season, obviously, but he's got this injury that might keep him out for a few weeks, possibly even till the end of the season. Yeah. Maybe Mason Greenwood can be that person who gets those important goals, who gets a few winners, who does turn this season around a bit, because he's almost been allowed to take some of the spotlight off him, and maybe unfairly on Martial, but it's all been about him. And Mason's kind of had a bit of a free ride with what has been a like you said, much less prolific season. But maybe last 6 or so weeks of the season, he can be the one to get us a few important goals, and it was definitely important today.
100%. I'm just going to give you another Mason Greenwood quote and then get into some of the comments. Mason Greenwood in his post-match has said, "We weren't worried. We knew we had the quality on the pitch. Everyone kept their heads. There's a lot to play for." Very true. Ross Murphy in the Super Chat says, "Hey guys, I believe we have now secured top 4. It's going to take a massive collapse, which I can't see happening. Maguire, man of the match, didn't put a foot wrong the whole game." A few people in the chat actually have been praising Harry Maguire, saying that he was man of the match. I think you might have actually said it. I think Mac has said it as well. Towards the game of United fans, says Harry was mint. Other people talking about Rashford looks a bit injured, not match fit. I was saying I think that might have been planned, the substitution for Marcus Rashford. There's a bit of a debate going on as well about Dan James and even Donny van de Beek. Some people saying did he even touch the ball? Others saying it was his movement which helped create the second goal. Start with Harry Maguire. Another one who's had a lot of stick.
Yeah.
Sort of bounced back from it a little bit. And is in a good spell for Manchester United.
I think since Christmas he's
got resurrected on Easter Sunday, says Adam McCullough.
I think, since Christmas, I would say Maguire's
very proud of himself by that comment as well. He's laughing his head off to himself there.
I mean, it's good, but he's been good for quite a while, I think, is the point. So, get over yourself. I'm only joking. But he's one of those players that, other than Luke Shaw, I would say since Christmas, he's probably been our best player. Because Bruno's dropped off a little bit. Same with Rashford. Obviously, Pogba's been injured for a lot of that. So what was great work from him just after Christmas has kind of been, softened out a bit by the fact he missed, 6 weeks? I would say he's probably been our best player since Christmas, him and Luke Shaw together. And that's great. And that's culminated in quite a lot of clean sheets. And obviously, there was no clean sheet today. But I would say no fault of Harry Maguire's the goal, but he was really good, and he was good for England. I know that's not of huge concern to a lot of United fans, but what it shows is consistency that, we were talking before the game, that was his 100th game for United tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, his 100th game in what is that,
600 days. Yeah, that is incredible.
That's ridiculous.
He hasn't played 2 seasons for United, and he's played 100 games. Sorry? Maguire.
Harry Maguire.
You can watch it back. Maguire with his 100th game already. That is stunning, isn't it? I think he's played basically every minute in the Premier League since he joined for United. Really impressive.
Sorry, Luke H in the Super Chat says, "Happy Easter, lads. Good result, but Pogba was dog poo emoji. Or poo emoji, I should say."
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Wasn't great, but someone was making a comment earlier during the game that when you're coming back from international break, Brighton have obviously not had as many players away. We've had a lot of the squad away. There's going to be a bit of rustiness. Do you buy into that? Do you think you give any of the players a sort of a bit of leeway with that? Or do you think that it just wasn't a good enough performance by a few players today?
I think rustiness is the sort of thing you can allow or you can talk about after the game has won.
Yeah.
Because if we'd have lost this game or drawn this game, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, it's okay because they were tired." Now we've won it. They overcame it. They did show a lot of bottle to do that, and it's not, like I said, not the first time they've done that this season. United have won a lot of games from being behind. Yeah. Now you can maybe look at it and be a bit more, empathetic with the players and say, "Yeah, a lot of you have been travelling. A lot of you have, played a lot of games. A lot of you, all that." But really, we were too good, and we luckily managed to show that. But we shouldn't be, dropping points just because you've been on international break. I don't think, that's much of an excuse. And luckily we didn't. But I think there was questions throughout the watch along of, do you think it's not playing together that much? Do you think it's, just coming back from injuries? Do you think it's a fitness thing because they've been playing 2 games a week for all season? Do you think it's this? There was sort of half a dozen possible points mentioned, and it's probably a little bit from all of them. Yeah, which was what eventually turns out to be not a great performance or not a great string of performances. But luckily it's a win. And I say luckily it's a win. We made enough chances to score 2 goals, and we scored 2 goals. So I wouldn't say it was lucky, but it just wasn't our best day, was it?
Wasn't our best day. I'm going to wrap up now. I'm just going to go through a couple of the chats in the Super Chat. Abdullah Ibrahim says, "In a very odd way, there seems to be large periods in matches where we look disjointed. What are your thoughts on our overall team cohesion?" Good question. Joe, what do you reckon of that? What's your thoughts? on our team cohesion. I say
terms of-
lack of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. In terms of the defence, there's no excuse for it because this defence plays together all the time.
Yeah.
The midfield and attack has been changed up quite a bit recently. Obviously, Cavani's barely played recently. Pogba's barely played recently. Fred doesn't particularly look cohesive no matter who he's next to at the moment. Another stinker from him.
Let's not go there.
First half, you would say he wasn't the worst of a bad
First half, I
bunch.
was fine with him.
But second half,
It wasn't that bad. He didn't stand out.
No, it was after we went ahead that he started, that he was
The
terrible.
last 5 minutes of that
it's like
game,
he's
he
just-
knocks years off me.
Yeah,
he
he
does
loses
because
his
he's just.
head.
It's like he's constantly. He has a 5 minute spell in like the 90 or 89th minute to the 94th, where he seems his only sort of mission in life is to give the ball away as much as possible, or to dive in when he's miles away from it. I just don't get it. It's like he completely loses his marbles.
Yeah.
And a player he's not a kid. He's 27, 28.
Yeah.
He's a Brazilian international. He's
whatever he is. He plays for United.
He's played a
every
lot of top tier football,
Yeah.
whatever. So he should be a little bit more composed than that. And yeah, his passing just deserts him. James Norris in the super chat says, important win with a few big games coming up, Spurs and Leeds. Poor first half, though. I agree. Pablo, the Red, says, great win for Ollie in the camp. Top 4 secured. Jackson Reynolds says, Lindelof looks a lot better in the air today. Maybe he's rubbing Harry's massive head for good luck.
The thing with Lindelof is he's not like pure shit in the air.
Yeah.
He's just not that good.
No.
So sometimes he gets caught out, and more than you would hope for a centre back for one of the biggest teams in the world. He's not a terrible in any facet of his game, but certain aspects you go someone who was better. You look at him next to Maguire, who I would say is one of the best aerial centre backs in the world in terms of the amount of headers he wins. He's nowhere near as good as him, but he's not that bad aerial. It's not like he loses every header, is it?
Someone saying, no way, Jay. Brazilian international James McManus. I've just checked. He's got 11 caps for Brazil.
Yes.
Doesn't mean a lot, though. I mean, people go, Brazil, but
They have some mad
Pereira's
picks.
played for Brazil.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It happens. We're going to wrap up there. You're going to be hearing from Adam McCullough very soon. He's going to have his post-match review. Also, as well, coming up on the channel, we're looking ahead to the Granada game, and we'll have to watch along for that. Also, all the podcasts. You'll have Premier League Piss Take. You'll have McCullough and Housen Uncensored. You'll have Housen's Brew. You'll have all the usual stuff. You know what you're going to get.
Vids.
All the vids. So make sure you check it out. If you've not done as well, check out the members section where you've got him giving someone a haircut. Say no more.
It's a good haircut as well.
You know what I'm on about, eh? Yeah, some trim, as McCullough just shouted out there. I'll mean something to someone. You know where to find him, Joe Smith 93. You know where to find me as well. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Manchester United, top 4 secured, probably. Thanks for watching.